Ready for a crazy story? So the attorneys representing a group of Republicans known as fake electors, which means they were part of the scheme in 2020 to overturn the presidential election results, argue that the prosecutors who brought charges against them were politically motivated in seeking a grand jury indictment against their clients.
I mean, this is a prosecution brought by a Democrat prosecutor. We're all thinking people here. And if the roles were reversed, if the defendants were actually Democrats, would the Democrat prosecutor have brought charges against them? I think that it's hard to believe that that would actually happen.
There have been Republicans prosecuted by Republicans. There's been Democrats prosecuted by Democrats. I thought we were all Americans. And I mean, that's like the nonsense that goes on about the lead comment in the media these days seems to be, who appointed you? I was appointed by a Democrat and I was a Republican when I got appointed by a Democrat. What bearing does that have on anything? And I'm just trying to leave the noise outside the courtroom and let the law rule the courtroom.
This Hail Mary defense from the fake elector's attorney was given to Maricopa County Superior Court Judge Bruce Cohen, as he's considering a request from at least a dozen of the 18 people indicted in the case to dismiss charges of fraud, conspiracy, and forgery. Cohen said he's going to rule on each of their motions separately, potentially at different times, after he hears from the prosecution. In the defense attorney's arguments, they claimed that Democratic State Attorney General Chris Mays tried to use the indictment to silence their Republican clients' constitutionally protected speech about the 2020 election, and along with it, any actions that they had taken in response to the election results. The defense pointed to May's campaign when she promised to investigate the fake electors, which they believe showed a bias against former President Donald Trump and his supporters, aka the fake electors. Now, of course, the prosecutors say the defendants don't have any evidence to back up this retaliation claim. Instead, the defense attorneys cited a broad interpretation of an Arizona law that bars using baseless legal actions in a bid to silence critics. The law had long only offered protections in civil cases, but was amended in 2022 by the Republican-led legislature, many of which are either fake electors or wrote a letter to Vice President Mike Pence to overturn the election results. Now that law covers criminal charges as well as civil. Among those that are charged in this case are 11 people who submitted a document falsely claiming Trump won Arizona, 2 former Trump aides, and 5 lawyers connected to Trump, including Rudy Giuliani. And it gets better. The indictment alleges that Giuliani pressured Maricopa County officials and state legislatures to change the election results and encourage Republican electors in the state to vote for Trump in mid-December 2020. The indictment says Giuliani spread false claims of election fraud in Arizona and presided over a downtown Phoenix gathering where he claimed officials made no effort to determine the accuracy of the presidential election results, which he did. Unless the case does get thrown out, which is unlikely, it's looking like the trial won't begin until the beginning of next year.